Hello.
Does Aaron Rodgers retire after this season?
Has to. Done.
I think he does. I think he does. Or does the ego come into play and say...
The important question is, does he grow the hair out again? Because like a big hair change is coming, either big beard or big hair.
Kind of like coaches do when they know they're on, like when you're on the hot seat, like Eberflus, changed his whole appearance. He knows he's on a hot seat. Sirianni, when he was taking heat, grew the beard out. Same thing.
Or does he get a job in an administration?
He's retiring. This reminds me a lot of Brett Favre's last year, 2010, Minnesota, whereas all of a sudden you just get a few injuries and you don't, at 40 years old, injuries don't heal. You don't bounce back. Tom Brady, the secret sauce to him playing to 46 was he just avoided
TB12 method.
Any of those big hits that really had something that he was then going to have to hamper and play through. And Rodgers is trying to play through, and that's the worst thing you can do when you're 40 years old, is not let your body get the time to heal. And so I do think at this point, it's like maybe he, goes on a 3-month wellness retreat in the offseason, his body heals up, whatever. He knows.
Do you think
his
he plays?
Body, but right now he is not healthy enough to play quarterback in the NFL.
But
it's only going to get. It's not going to get better
next year. Let's pair him with a situation. What would be the ideal situation for him?
Well, he's a GM of the Jets, so he's got that going.
If he wasn't with the Jets,
gosh, he needs a good O-line.
Is there a situation? He's done. He's that done.
Look, I've defended that guy over the years a lot. I think he was a great player. And people ping him for only winning one Super Bowl, but he's been a great player. This mess isn't just him. Okay. He hasn't been good, but this mess isn't him. There's far more. The body language in that team, the tackling, they quit. They flat out quit the second half. Yeah. I mean, they didn't tackle. Not just the Sauce Gardner missed tackle, and he hasn't tackled anybody all year, but everybody missing tackles across the board. And we were watching that game, and I'm saying they quit. They went home. And it's a disgrace because they got bullied and they quit. And in the offensive side, they got beat up on the offensive line. They were getting that Arizona defense has a bunch of no names on it, but they get after it and they allowed it to happen. So to answer your question, will he be back next year? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think he fades into he just goes away.
You don't think he'll be in the media or
he'll be on the McAfee show
or something like that?
He'll be with RFK in the Department of Health, yeah.
Oh, God, can you imagine that?
God. Free mushrooms for everybody.
All right. Who wins Sunday, Bills or Chiefs?
Chiefs.
And who's the game more important for?
Chiefs.
Bills.
Both. The game's more important for the Kansas City Chiefs
for legacy.
They're chasing history, man.
Yeah, but the game's more important for the Bills because they got to show.
They are chasing history in Kansas City. They're going where no man has gone before, and they're doing so on a razor thin margin. And who better than to get yourself to? Is it going to be 10-0 or 9-0 if they beat the Bills? It gets to 10-0.
10-0.
Who better to make it 10-0 on the season than going to Buffalo and playing against the group that you've had so many historic games against? I was there for the Slim Reaper game, the 13 seconds game, where they changed the overtime rules because Patrick Mahomes was too damn good.
Well, no. They changed because Buffalo Bills, 13 seconds, they botched the entire end of the game.
Patrick was too good.
They botched the game.
They had to change the rules. And I think that for the Kansas City Chiefs, an opportunity to make history makes this game more important for them.
I think it's more important for the Bills.
I agree.
I think the Bills have to show that they're the team in the AFC. And I know they lost to the Ravens, but that was a weird at their place at nighttime, and it was in a weird spot. They win this game, and they do it in dominant fashion. They send the message to everybody that they're the best team in the AFC. And I don't think there would be any debate to it. So I think this is important. And I know, having been around that team this summer and talking to those guys, they know they have to get they're tired of being Karl Malone and John Stockton to Michael Jordan. Yep. They're tired of being Charles Barkley to Michael Jordan. It's time.
That's why I think it's more important for the Michael Jordan of the world in this game, because you got to go out and prove it again. I mean, the pressure being a guy like Patrick Mahomes on a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, I can't even imagine. You go through the situations they've had from a health standpoint this year, and they've had to do so much. The defense has had to play so well. The offensive line has had to deal with some stuff at the tackle position. I think that's what it's going to come down to. The left tackle position, are they able to block up these edge rushers for the Buffalo Bills?
Greg Rousseau's having a great year, by the way. And look, for Buffalo, they haven't been healthy all year either. I mean, we talk about the Chiefs not having this guy and that guy. They haven't been healthy at all.
No.
And Sean McDermott's done a great job navigating through all that. And Josh Allen's been fantastic. Now, he's thrown a couple interceptions. So the one interception, the receiver didn't cross the cornerback's face. So there are reasons for him, but he's playing great football. I think this is huge for the Buffalo Bills.
Which team will end up with the number 1 overall pick? For context, right now, Jacksonville slated to draft number 1 overall.
Jacksonville will.
Giants also have a 2-8 record. Teams at 2-7. Tennessee, Cleveland, Las Vegas. Who ends up? You think Jacksonville does?
Jacksonville does. And
how long is Trevor supposed to be out for? How long is he going to be?
They don't know.
It's week to week.
Yeah, okay. But they will get.
He's back.
They will get
shoulders.
Yes, and they will get just waylaid in Detroit this week. And here's the other thing about that. If they do have the number 1 overall pick, that team will have picked first overall 3 of the last 5 years. 3. And I saw your tweet yesterday about backups, top 100 picks on 3 backups, a backup running back, a backup tight end, and a backup linebacker. It's a disaster. They need to make changes. I mean, I've said it over and over and over again, and they will make changes. It's just a matter of if they make the one change. Nobody's going to take that job with Trent Baalke running the place.
Okay, week 11 for the Bears. They play the Packers. Then they play the Vikings. Then they play the Lions. Then they play the 49ers. Then they play the Vikings again.
But 4 wins, someone's going to end up with.
Then they play the Lions. Then they play the Seahawks. Then they play the Packers.
Yeah, but okay, Jacksonville's schedule. They play the Lions this week. Don't they play the Texans?
I don't see any wins on that Bears.
Give me the Jacksonville schedule.
Jacksonville plays. Let's see. They have. Oh shoot! I thought I had them up.
I think they play the Jets, which is
they play Lions, Texans, Titans, Jets, Raiders, Titans. So
it's a good Raiders Jaguars. The Raiders Jaguars game could be for the number 1 for the first pick.
Well, who I think has a good shot is the Titans actually at this point in time because their schedule is difficult. Vikings, Texans, Commanders, Jags, Bengals, Colts, Jags, Texans. So that 2 Jags, 1 Colts, those are the only winnable games even for them. So
they might win this week against the Vikings if Sam Darnold looks like he did last week.
So it'll basically come down to those Jags Titans matchups, 2 of them the rest of the season,
or the Jags Raiders,
or that one. So
are we discounting the Giants winning?
That's actually good. That's a great time.
I mean, the Giants are also in that conversation too. What's the Giants schedule look like?
Giants are a tough team though.
So the Giants are already 2-8. They have the Bucks, Cowboys, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Cowboys are going to get without Dak, it looks like. Saints, Ravens, Falcons, Colts, Eagles.
Think about this though. If it's Jacksonville,
Giants
if it's Jacksonville and they had the number 1 overall pick, there's going to be a people who want that pick because Jacksonville's not going to take a quarterback in that scenario. So then I don't think they will technically then end up with the number 1 overall pick. I don't either
in any way because they traded away.
Who's going to be the number 1 pick?
So I think
Shedeur
it's
Sanders.
I think the favorites I'd say are Giants and Titans.
I know he doesn't.
The Giants were scouting Shedeur Sanders this past week.
I bet
Cam Ward and Shedeur go 1-2.
Cam's a little nonchalant for me. I like him, and I haven't done all of my tape work.
Very loosey-goosey.
But Shedeur Sanders, to me, and I wasn't a huge going into the season a big.
He's been good.
He's been really good, and he makes it. You know what he does? He makes it look easy. He really makes it look easy.
That's called genetics.
That's called Jaden Daniels.
That's called some guys just got it.
Yeah.
And if you're their coach, you make sure that they thank mom, dad, and God every day because they've been touched by those people.
Yeah, he's. I want to see what he measures out at. Not that it would prohibit. Is he 6'2"?
Well, and is he 215? Because he's kind of slim.
Yeah,
he's slim. Does not look like he takes the weight room seriously. Number 1. Number 2, I can't stand some of the things that he's done to his offensive lines in years past. I know it's been atrocious, the offensive line play at times.
That was a lot of it had to do with his father, though, calling him out. But
hey, man. I don't care if my daddy says that. I'm saying you don't effing talk about my offensive line.
I tend to agree with you. And you know what? When he gets to the league, he'll find that out.
He'll find out so quick. And Dion can go run in the room and try to play bully ball with some of these guys, but that shit ain't flying in the league, buddy.
Nope.
All right. Can Christian McCaffrey lead the 49ers to winning the divisions? Will the 49ers win the West?
Yes. If the Rams had won last night, you would have said differently, though.
It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
But this San Francisco 49ers team, they're tough. They know how to win football games. Yep. I trust their head coach. Brock Purdy is a guy that I do trust.
Me too.
Christian McCaffrey.
You don't trust the kicker.
He wasn't even in great shape. Yeah. Can we get into that?
Oh, my God.
Christian McCaffrey, great game, pretty good game, not in shape yet. Can you imagine when he's in game shape?
Right.
And also, they put you down in Tampa Bay. You got the humidity. It was a hot one.
It was
He
87.
was cooked. He made that big catch on the right side. You could see in his face he was gassed.
Yep.
I've been there as an O lineman. I think they do make a run in the NFC West, but we got to talk about Deebo Samuel.
You know what?
Choking out his
I'm
long snapper.
gonna salute Deebo Samuel, because how many times have I ever wanted somebody to do that to a kicker who make your damn kicks?
Go choke the kicker.
Make your damn. He was in that direction. That's what he started, the deep snappers, he got in the middle of it. Look, you should never do anything like that.
That's terrible.
But the kicker needs to make your kicks.
I don't think
kickers are better than they've ever been, right? Distance wise, I mean, it's amazing all that training and that they do in the offseason.
Field.
It's unreal. That's all you do all day.
Yeah.
That's your day. Everybody else over there banging and sweat. Well, nobody hits anymore, so they're not hitting anymore either. But
that's a lie.
They don't barely hit anymore. Come on.
It's almost the problem, though, that's their whole day, right? You almost need a distraction, because if your whole life revolves around, I make this kick, I get a job, it's like almost too much pressure, right?
But then you can look, they're everywhere. They're like running backs. You find them, and look at Bates. He was in the spring league.
Just go on TikTok and you'll find 37 guys
There's a
kicking
kicker.
the ball from 50
There's a
yards
kicker.
out.
And so make you like the Falcons lost a game because Koo couldn't make his kicks.
Oh.
Make your kicks.
He got rizzied. He got rizzed.
Yeah.
He got rizzed.
You got rizzed.